Yes, this one is special one. It's on Monday, and Nairobi, Kenya is almost 10 p.m. We have 26 minutes past 9 o'clock. Welcome to Africa 24. This is Sports Show here. I have two gentlemen here who really love sports, and they are going to discuss more about what we have in sports in this world of sports. And of course, we have the Ballon d'Or nomination that is happening. Today we have those awards being presented. The question that we're asking here, who is going to win the Ballon d'Or? Of course, I've seen West here celebrating that Vinicius Jr. has not been the one to win this Ballon d'Or. Kilong still is celebrating here. So we are going to discuss and they are going to tell us why do they support their players who are going to win this Ballon d'Or. And of course, this is a Freak 24 sports show. Kilong, you can give us your opening remarks. I can see we have a lot of people here joining.
Thank you, Bonnie. It's a pleasure to always be here. I'm excited to talk about football. We get to see in a few minutes who will win the Ballon d'Or. We are now sure that it's not going to be um, the guy from Real Madrid, Vinicius Jr., which I think it's a fair decision according to me. We are going to discuss it further why I think that is the case. But anyway, it has been an interesting week of football. We saw Manchester United sack their coach, and I wonder why, because they could give him more time. But we are going to talk about this uh, coming up. Thank you very much, Bonnie.
Yes, Wes, welcome to Africa 24. You give us your opening remarks and you tell us where you're joining this conversation from. Bro, long time not see here.
Fine, bro. Thank you so very much for having me here. It's a pleasure. Like Kelang actually said, it's been a busy week of football. We've actually seen whatever's been happening all around the grounds in La Liga, in the Bundesliga, of course, English Premier League and the League One. So it's really been a busy weekend, actually, especially for the football fans. We saw what happened between Juve and Inter Milan, what happened between Marseille and PSG. We actually saw Monaco drop points this weekend, and of course Manchester. Like I don't know, it's actually been normalcy for us for Manchester United. It's been a rough ride actually. I mean, 9 games into the season, and we are already very sure you're not winning the league. So it's really been a tough journey so far for us Manchester United fans, and hopefully the decision he made by sacking the coach will be a good one, both for the players and for the fans. Because I think, see, when you are in a poor run of form, even players lose morale, and you understand whatever goes on the pitch. Some other time you feel like, hey, these players they lack motivation at all, at all, at all. So hopefully, once we get a new coach, a good one, it will the players will I mean the players will back the coach, and they'll have full support of the coach. They'll be able to get back in form because I understand we really have a good squad. I mean, squad depth very nice. All positions are actually very very good players. Like I said last time, it's a really really good team. Some proper coaching and we can win trophies. The other thing is, I was actually very happy that Vini is not winning Ballon d'Or. I'm very very happy. Like I'm not a hater per se, but I think stats can win you trophies. Yeah, yeah, because you actually had a fantastic season last season. But I think my guy lacks humility. You've seen Vini play, like literally. Even when playing Alaves, as in his reaction on the pitch every other time, he feels like he just wants to be seen. He just wants to be the man of the moment. And yeah, I understand he actually has skills. He knows how to showboat. He knows how to score goals. He knows how to beat defenders for fun. But there's always those the extra points like lacking humility and respect for other players. So I think that was actually that was only my whole point of not supporting Vini to win Ballon d'Or, because in as much as you have the statistics, in as much as you want the trophies and you have the goals and the assists, you should also show remorse and be humble. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I can hear West here is saying that he doesn't support Vini because he is very rude, and of course, in the pitch, you want to prove to the world that he is the one to represent the Real Madrid bunch, and yet we have a lot of players there in the Real Madrid. Anytime they play, even if it's a small team, and of course, you saw during the El Clasico. I want just to ask Kilong. Kilong, what do you think is going to win this Ballon d'Or and why?
Uh, Thank you very much, Bonnie. To answer your question, I think it's not a hidden secret anymore. It's going to be Rodri who's going to win the Ballon d'Or uh, because he has been superb for Man City. Uh, they've won the EPL, which is a hard league. So that's point number one. Point number two, he was one of the players who are instrumental in the Euro 2024, which Spain won. So he has two cups, which are putting him in the contention of winning Ballon d'Or, and he has been instrumental in his team by providing the much needed balance in the midfield. So that's why you can see why he's considered for that award. People are complaining because he's a defensive midfielder, and they're saying that Vinicius Junior was robbed. I think Vinicius Junior is good, but he's not exceptional in the sense that um, he's not he's just fast. That's what I see, and knows and moves his legs quickly. And as Wes has mentioned, one of the things that irritates people about him is that he has a big mouth. If he could just focus on football, then maybe people could have a little grace towards him. So for me, I see Rodri as because after Messi has enter into retirement mode, then all players are just almost the same. They are just good players. We don't have exceptional. Messi was the exceptional player, and I think that is true because he has almost eight. He has 8 Ballon d'Ors, and if considered, he could have even more than 10 if the Ballon d'Or was fair and not under the influence of Perez, the Real Madrid president. So for me, I think it's a fair decision, and Vinicius Junior, he should pull up his socks. And also remember, Brazil were playing on the Copa America, and Vinicius Junior was one of the player. And I think they were eliminated before the semifinals. I'm not sure when they were eliminated. They were not playing good, so he was not good for his country. And during competitions that include uh, international matches, the international matches sometimes precede club competition. So that's why you would see somebody like Rodri being considered. So that's why I think he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah.
This is Kilong saying that Rodri deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. And of course, Rodri helped the Spain national team to win, that is the Euro 2024. But again, during the Copa America, I saw Vinicius Junior, as Wes has said, he was warned against playing the semi-finals because of his rudeness. Same thing happened to Jude Bellingham during the Euro 2024. There is a gesture that he shown in the pitch. I think you all saw what kind of gesture Jude Bellingham showed. Does it mean that these players from Real Madrid, they have that ego, or It's something that is induced whenever you play in the Santiago Bernabeu. Wes,
You're on mute, Wes. We can't.
So thank you, Bonnie. So I'm saying Real Madrid actually have good players, and not all of them are behave the way Akina Vini and Bellingham behave. We've seen some good players like uh, uh, I think uh, I think Rudiger. Rudiger is a really good player. Carvajal. Actually, Real have a really good squad. If you can't really say all of them are as rude as Vini and Bellingham, but I think for Bellingham, prior to joining Real, he was a good player, and he didn't really have that sense of, I mean, that element of showing off or probably like doing the extras on the pitch. It's always good. It's good because either way it's rivalry. It's good you raise you raise your voice to an opponent. It's good you show off. I mean, you come up with your points to the referee. Like it's always. I mean, it's commendable actually. But going an extra. I mean, going an extra mile by shouting at a player, probably even bashing him, probably maybe trolling him. Yeah, that is not acceptable. But I think Real Madrid is a good team. They have good players actually. I've never seen a player like Militao, a player like this guy from Austria. What's his name? The defender. Yeah, they're actually good players. I've never even seen but on that point again, you saw what happened between Couture and the Atletico Madrid fans. That was actually purely confrontation. Like like there's a point you can celebrate, but never, never show it to the fans. So whatever happened, man, I didn't like that. So yeah, Real Madrid is a good team. Some players are just doing the extras, and yeah.
Long, do you think that Real Madrid players they have a lot of ego because of playing the Santiago Bernabeu? You know they are
Yeah,
considered as one of the big clubs in the world,
yeah.
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
I think there is ego, and there is the what would I call it? The pride you have when playing for a big team like Real Madrid. But what we are seeing now from players like Vinicius Junior and somehow Bellingham is that they are egotistical in nature. Their ego is way too high. We've had a lot of exceptional players playing for Real Madrid. Even Modric himself is actually one of the best players in that squad, and you see he respects his opponent, doesn't go and do something that is out of the norm. So to be honest, the two players they're young. Maybe they need to learn a bit and focus just on football and leave the other showbiz part of it and focus on football. So for me, I think they need to reduce their ego and concentrate on playing football.
Long is saying that they need to drop their ego and concentrate on playing football. Do you think that one day Kylian Mbappe or Jude Bellingham they will win this Ballon d'Or?
They have the potential. And considering they're actually playing for him, so they can always go an extra mile by paying the referees, like you usually say. I mean, sometimes you can actually be a good player, but if you receive a backing from a good manager or probably maybe a good club owner, there's a high chance there's a high chance you win. Because even for Real, by the I think it's only this game they lost this weekend, but generally they have been a good team, and even Mbappe by the I think it was just the Hansi Flick tactical masterclass, but he's a good player. His movements around the ball, so he has a chance. Yep. Even Bellingham. Bellingham last season, yep, he was a good one. This season, I think there was a change of position. I had so. he was playing a wider 10, so that's why probably tactics made him lose form. But he's back. He'll be back. I know. So Mbappe and Bellingham, they have chance. I mean, they're still young players. If Messi was winning it at 36 and at 35, why? I mean, they're still young players. Yep. So yeah, they have a chance.
Yeah, that is Wes is saying that they have a chance. But Mbappe, since he came there, he has been facing a lot of criticism from players that he is not fit to play for Real Madrid. He should have stayed in Paris Saint-Germain. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is a
because
good player, by the way.
I think our expectations were actually too high, and if and what happened with Mbappe, he actually overpromised. You see, when you overpromise, there's a high chance you will underdeliver. So that is actually what happened. Uh, uh, Considering he had fine form in PSG and considering all the saga in the transfer market, he was supposed to come there last season, the season before, so all the saga, all the expectations were high. And, but I know for a fact, I think we are only we are not even December yet. I know for a fact he'll step up and one thing about Real is they don't have like a natural striker. You saw Mbappe. You saw what happened when Messi joined PSG. They were forcing Mbappe to play uh, as a number 9. So kind of his form went down. So I think our formation again, because we've seen Mbappe perform really well with France, and when was it Cavani, when Cavani was in PSG and a natural number 9. So I think if he plays well as a winger, he will perform. Yep.
That is we're saying Kylian Mbappe, and of course, Kenyans and also people from the whole world, they were expecting him to deliver. The only thing that I expected Mbappe to do during the El Clasico is for him to score, but he's got an offside goal. That was very tough, and I saw Barcelona playing. What do you have to say about Barcelona gameplay? And of course, since Hansi Flick took over, things have been burning. Any team that is coming across the Catalans, then they are going to collect goals.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. We saw how Barcelona performed against Real Madrid. It was a battle of prominence in the midfield, and what happened is that Real Madrid were outclassed because they never had a creative midfielder who could break the high Barcelona line. When I was watching Barcelona, I thought they would concede more than 3 goals, but their superb offside trap uh, lured Vini and Mbappe to make runs on offside positions. And when they scored the goals, they were ruled to be offside. So for me, it's just impressive how Hansi Flick really has coached his boys. They're young boys, and they're straight from the La Masia, which is one of the best academy in the world. So he has coached them, believed in them, and and now they have performed on global stage. They beat Bayern, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. They walked over them like they're nothing. So for me, I think uh, it was just a matter of how Hansi Flick coached his boys to play high line, quick football, and direct football. We all know Barcelona tiki taka, but now they have improved it and they're playing direct football, which means that they attack easily and quickly, catching opponents before they are settled. And we saw that worked out during the weekend, and they won the El Clasico, which was a good thing for them.
Wes, say something about the El Clasico, whereby Barcelona won 4 goals. Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti was shocked.
Yeah, I think Hansi Flick is a tactical genius actually because subbing off Lopez, is it Lopez? Subbing off Fermin for De Jong was a tactical move because you saw what happened by there. After De Jong came in the second half, everything changed. All the passes in the final third was they're just crazy. Because I think the second goal scored by Lewandowski was all his build up by the he received a ball from the midfield, played tiki taka, and then he did a fantastic pass to Balde, who made a fantastic cross. So I think it was actually a game of it was a game of tactical geniuses. Because even Ancelotti by the is a good coach, but I think there's something I read. Beat you can't beat the high line. I mean, you can't beat the offside trap. You can actually study it, but you can't. You'll never beat it because prior to actually, I mean, before this game against Real, Barca played Bayern, and actually it was actually the same uh, tactic. You put a high line, like you literally have all your defenders at your half. So any move, you saw Olise making a run, Nabri making a run, Hurricane making a run. You find them, you're actually getting them offside. So I think beating the offside trap is actually the hardest thing to do. And El Clasico actually proved us that Barcelona are actually back, and they've actually been winning games. They won against Bayern, but the biggest highlight was winning against Real, and they've actually proven us that they are so back, and we are expecting more from them. Yep.
Yes, that was El Clasico, whereby Carlo Ancelotti was shocked by Hansi Flick because the tactics from the Barcelona coach really made him to win. That was the Barcelona El Clasico. You know, there were times when we used to have this El Clasico, Barcelona featuring Lionel Messi and Real Madrid featuring Cristiano Ronaldo. That is the time we used to celebrate El Clasico. But after Messi left Barcelona, Barcelona has been going up and down. But now you can see the boys have really changed since Hans Flick took over, and now they are playing a good game. They won against Bayern Munich. But of course, you know, Bayern Munich is being coached by Vincent Company, who doesn't have experience. Do you think that Vincent Company is the good coach to lead those Bundesliga guys?
Yeah. Company is a good coach. I mean, if you really want to test someone, you give him a big challenge, and even himself, he said, people will maybe not believe in him, but what he has done so far, he is a good coach, considering he came from Burnley. He made, he promoted Burnley from Championship to the Premier League, and then unfortunately, of course, the league is the hardest league in the world. So I think he's actually doing a good job in Bayern, and they've picked up the momentum, considering they didn't win the league last season, and so far they're running riot in the Bundesliga. So he's a good coach. He's actually been able to make Olise fit into the system. We've actually seen Olise play a good game. Hurricane, the consistency is up there. So I think he's a good coach. It was only unfortunate that they was actually facing a much stronger Barcelona side. So yep, he's a good coach.
That is, we're saying that Vincent Company qualifies to lead the Bayern Munich. Kilong, what do you have to say about the Vincent Company coaching Bayern Munich? Is he worthy to coach those giants from the German side?
Yeah, I think the real test for company will be the Champions League, and he failed the first test where he was battered by Hansi Flick. So I don't see him surviving too long if he doesn't perform in the Champions League, because Bundesliga, we know Bayern are almost dominant in that league. So it means that he needs to perform on the European stage. So if he doesn't, then he'll really be sacked. But I see what he's doing in Bayern. We have players like Hurricane, my Olise shining at the moment in Bundesliga, but we want to see that replicated on the Champions League so that we can consider him as a good coach.
He's saying that the only thing we can measure Vincent Company's strength is winning the Champions League. And of course, he was defeated by Aston Villa. Do you think Aston Villa they are going to clinch this the Champions League because they are on top after all the games? They have won all the games. Unai Emery pulling one of the biggest surprises in this Champions League.
It's even Arsenal have been going top of the table, but have they been winning anything? I mean, it's about consistency, bro. If you're not winning, I mean, the first few games you can be winning, but then people will start reading your tactics. People will start your inside is coming in. So it's about consistency. Aston Villa, it's good for them. They've actually played well, but no, from they are not winning this Champions League. It's a hard ride. It's a bumpy ride. They're here to play the best in the league, and you know what happened with Real Madrid. I think they have the Champions League. So I think so they're never winning the league. So yeah, for me, Aston Villa for the Champions League, no, no, never in even if I put a stake, I'm never winning it. So no.
Well, we see that the Aston Villa, Unai Emery said he cannot win Champions League. But I have the feeling that these guys they can win the Champions League. They are playing a good game. The way they have those penetration passes. You know, if they meet even if it's Barcelona, I'm very sure these guys for Unai Emery they are going to show them a very big game because I saw them playing against Bayern Munich and they were very composed. It's like they playing against a very small team in the EPL like Ipswich, but then they were very sharp when it comes to their striking. And that's why they scored one goal. I think Aston Villa they can give us a surprise, and I will be very happy. The same way you saw West Ham pulling that performance in the conference cup with Dave Moy. So I think Aston Villa they can win this thing. That is what I can see it from my point of view. Why do you underrate these guys? Because I think the, now this format of the Champions League, the first eight are going to qualify for the round of 16 after all the matches. But I think the fact that you are not going to play same team twice, then this one can be a big surprise for Aston Villa. They are going to get those small teams until they win this Champions League. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I mean, Seville is a good team. I mean, they have Premier League proven, but not Champions League proven. So you saw what happened with Newcastle last season. They actually played PSG and they battered them 3-0. At was it? I think it was a crazy score, and I think it was 4-1 at home. So Aston Villa at the moment they let them enjoy their wins. I mean, it's actually Aston Villa is actually a good team, and considering they drew with Manchester United this season, a goalless draw, and they actually survived because I think United had was it two Bulldogs. So sometimes it's all about consistency. You can keep going and going and going and you will win. But for Aston Villa, I actually wish them the best, but I think they're not there yet to win the Champions League.
You're saying they are yet to play a very tough team. So what I'm waiting is that I want to see if these Aston Villa guys they are going to play tough side. You know, a tough side is like Real Madrid. A tough side is like Barcelona, Inter Milan, and of course those are the teams that can give you a very sharp performance. That is more about Champions League and who is going to win. Still, the new format is confusing even the fans. You don't know what you're going to support because there's no home advantage. Did you support the new format? Because I used to enjoy if Chelsea is playing home and away. Now you're playing Italy. The next time you're playing in Portugal. The next time you're playing in Turkey. These people came to confuse us.
Uh, what I can say is we've really lost game. We don't recognize our football anymore. Uh, yeah, we understand. We actually appreciate the changes in the league and everything, but then we should also consider us as fans, the feeling about the game. See, you understand? You can actually complement what usually used to happen when we used to have the away goal rule, and after some time it was actually chopped off, and now we have a new format. Now we can't be playing home and away. It's a whole new format. Everything actually changed. So I think UEFA, they actually their biggest focus was on the commercial side, and not on the fan side. They actually their full focus, because I think even when I saw the presentation, they were saying if you give the fans more games to watch, they'll actually enjoy the games than what we used to do. But I think, considering we have all the leagues there, we have for Premier League we have like the Carabao, we have the FA, we have the league, we have midweek fixtures, we have the international break. I mean, those games are actually enough for us already to enjoy. But giving us a whole new format, you're playing a team, you're playing away against a team which is actually which has like which performs well while at home, but you don't get a chance to get a revenge. Football is all about you beat me, you come to our turf and I'll beat you. I mean, it's all about ah last game out at away we lost, but we have a chance of redeeming ourselves at home. So we've actually lost that, and the format is actually as a football fan like me, sometimes I, I can only do enough. I can never do more. And I can't even imagine spending a day. I'm spending my weekends watching football. There's a game on Monday. There's a game on Tuesday. Another one on Thursday. I can't actually spend my whole week watching football. So the new format is actually rubbish to me. And man, I need my game back. I need my old UEFA format back. I need the away goals back. I need home and away back. I need the nights at Old Trafford, because even even the new Champions League. Why are we seeing Arsenal in the Champions League in the first place? I mean, man, it fell off, man. It fell off. We don't even feel the Champions League the experience anymore. Yeah, so man, the new format is a no to me.
That is the way they think that you want to see the old format back. You want to have that feeling for the Old Trafford nights, when we had the Old Trafford late nights, whereby Manchester United was playing Paris Saint Germain. I remember that goal from Marcus Rashford, and also Paul Pogba when he was playing. Kilong, do you support the new format of the Champions League?
Uh, for me, I would look it differently from West, because I think we've talked about this before, and I told you that this Champions League format was a response to the Super League creation by the big clubs. But now they came with a format of a league, which will help, which will make the fans experience big teams play from the onset, from the group stages. So for me, that has worked well, because each week I get to see big team play, big teams play in Europe. It's just sad that my team Chelsea is in the Conference League, but come next season, I know it will be the big boys. I'll be anticipating to see how we play against Barcelona's high line with Cold Palmer uh, there, who will definitely open the Barcelona's defense easily, because he's good. So for me, I think the format is okay. It's just confusing at the moment, but it's interesting because we have big matches every other time, every other game week.
And you support the fact that West is asking, why do you have Arsenal in the Champions League and Chelsea is not playing?
Of course, that's a good question because we know Arsenal can't really perform on the international stage or on the Champions League. So they are wasting their time there because we know they'll be eliminated soon. But it's good for them. But next season, they they have to know that the biggest team in London, which is Chelsea, will be in the competition. And when we go there, we go to win, not to participate.
That is West. That is Kilom. The Kilom is saying that Arsenal, they are just wasting time. Yesterday, we saw a big match whereby they were playing against the Reds. And unfortunately, the match ended into a 2-2 draw. We are going to come back to the Premier League so that we can discuss because we have a big topic here. Man United sacking Eric Ten Hag, and yet he has a family. He's a family man. He has a girlfriend. He has dogs to feed. Why can you sack the honest man? And he was giving us joy as fans, as rival fans. Of course, today I have this feeling whereby some people are saying that Lautaro Martinez is going to clinch that Ballon d'Or. Wes, do you agree with this?
I was actually going for Lautaro Martinez. I wasn't supporting. I was only publicly declared I'm not supporting him, but I didn't say who I was supporting. I was supporting Lautaro Martinez. He's actually been a good player for Inter Milan and even for Argentina. We've seen him score goals for Inter. He was the league's top scorer. They won the Scudetto and the Coppa Italia. So he's a good player. I wish him the best. Probably he might not win, but he's actually somewhere there. We've seen some players getting ranked among the best, and so even for him, it's actually I think a personal achievement for him getting ranked among the best. Maybe not winning it, but being up there. And I actually had Kelong say Chelsea is the biggest club in London. I think this isn't the biggest club in London. I mean for sure, it's Crystal. They beat Spurs yesterday. They drew against Chelsea sometimes back in my fantasy squad. I have Eze. Eze yesterday pulled a crazy assist and he scored a good goal against Chelsea. So yeah, I think Crystal is actually a good club in London. It's the only club I can support in London because I can't because not Arsenal, not Chelsea, not Spurs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Be
And
careful what you wish for because you are competing with them. They're in number 14 there.
you drew Crystal
They
at
are main
home, and
rivals.
and that's actually the only point this season. Draw against Chelsea at home. And another point for the Ballon d'Or, Rodri actually deserves it. If not Lautaro, it's Rodri, and even Cavajal had a chance again because he's actually been a good player, especially uh, for someone who will support. I mean, who supported Spain in Euros and Germany. I mean, Spain in the finals, so he's a good player.
Kilong, we saw the Copa America, Argentina playing. We have Lautaro Martinez, and of course, he has been having a very good time in the Inter Milan. Do you support that he might clinch this Ballon d'Or? He has won everything.
Yeah, not really him winning because Inter Milan won the Serie A, right? Or who won the Serie A last season? It was, let me check just quickly. Oh yeah, it was Inter. Yeah, so he won Serie A and Copa America. But we all know that in Copa America, he was not the main man. The main man is always Leo Messi. So for him, who it will be hard for him to win. He plays well, but I don't think he's not even the top three if I'm not wrong. I think they already released the other list for the players, and for him, I don't think he's in top three. But he's a good player.
Long as saying Lautaro Martinez is a good player, and also I've seen some of the players are missing this Ballon d'Or. There is a player known as Rodrigo for Barcelona or for Real Madrid, and also we have Fede Valverde for Uruguay. Wes, where do you rate those two players? Because I have a different opinion when it comes to Fede Valverde and Rodrigo.
Um, like us, Rodri and Valverde, best players in the world. It's only that I can't. I've seen Rodri play for Brazil. I've seen Rodri play for Real Madrid even last season. He's a good player, really. And kind of, if you're being honest, when Mbappe came to Real Madrid, his game went a bit down because I think position wise, yeah. So he's a good player, and we were not expecting him to win the better players than him. But overall, he's a good player. Even Valverde, the way if you contribute to the goals, if you even score screamers, you you become a good player. So Valverde is a good player. I mean, personally for me, I can't hate him because I have my general hate on Real. He's a really good player. I've seen him play for Uruguay, and you know how the Copa America League is. It's full of physicality and he always delivers. I mean, so he's a good player for me. Valverde and Rodri, the best.
Long do support that Aston Villa they might win this Champions League.
We're not living in dreamland. No. I know Unai Emery is good in Europe competitions. We know he won a lot of Europa matches, but the thing that he has failed to replicate is winning a Champions League because he coached PSG, he coached Arsenal, and those are big clubs, but he's yet to win for them a trophy. Aston Villa is playing real good, but they are yet to. We'll see how they progress during the knockout stages because that's when UEFA becomes now competitive, real competitive. And I don't think they have the squad and the ability to win it. They might get to quarterfinals, but I don't see them get past there.
But they won against Bayern Munich. And you know this Champions League format now, you don't have that home and away. So maybe they may be getting those small teams until they win the Champions League.
No, remember the league will stop. Then we go to knockout football. You know, so they'll definitely get the best teams. They will get Barcelona. Barcelona will wipe them out clean. Real Madrid will have a have a walk in the park with them. So they may get lucky during the league stage and go to the knockouts, the round of 16. So round of 16 is when they will now start facing better teams. That's when they'll start struggling. And also their squad is not that deep. So it means that they will struggle because for you to be competitive, you really need to have a large squad that can accommodate playing during the week and during the weekend for Premier League because also Premier League demands a lot of physicality from the players. So that's the challenge I see going forward.
But you see, Aston Villa, they have, you know, when I see them playing, I you take some of the good players there. likes of goalkeeper. You know, they have the best goalkeeper. Martinez is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. They also
That I
have Yuri
agree.
Tielemans. You have John McGinn. You know, they have more. They have good players, of course. I think they are going to win this Champions League. That is what I can check. And if they win, then I will be happy. Not all teams like we always predict Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich winning this Champions League. No, me, I want Unai Emery to win it. I will not be shocked if Aston Villa wins against Barcelona if they meet at Camp Nou.
You're dreaming. Wake up from your sleep.
You see, I'm dreaming, and you know, Aston Villa they always gives a good gameplay in the field, and you know their passes. I wish that Jaga Grealish can come back to Villa Park. You know, he's being wasted at Man City. Did you,
That's true.
Wes, do you believe that Jack Grealish has been doing a good job in the Man City squad at Etihad since he came from Aston Villa? You know, this guy has been good. And of course, the scout team for Man City, they always detect those good players and go for them. But at the end of the day, they end up being wasted. You saw what happens to Nunes. He's still there, staying at the bench.
I'm actually even surprised. I think Grealish should be receiving the same amount of scrutiny the way Anthony faces criticism. Because I think, if you go to the statistics by there, you'll actually be surprised. Grealish last season and this season, he hasn't really been a key player for Man City. It reaches a point Pep will prefer playing Nunes and Nunes over him and Doku, and it really baffles me. I mean, there's no way you spend 100 million on a player just for a backup for a backup to start. So I think Grealish is actually his move to City was a bad one. He should be facing the same amount of criticism as Anthony and as Modric because there's no way he actually used to play well in Aston Villa. He really used to deliver. Actually, even assisted Aston Villa. I mean, actually helped Aston Villa avoid relegation. So yeah, if he goes back to Aston Villa, but then you understand probably he will. If he goes back to Aston Villa, probably he lost favor from the fans. So there's a high chance he'll actually be starting as a bench player because Villa at the moment they have a good squad, like literally everywhere. From from even Tielemans. And the funny thing about Aston Villa, you might even find Tielemans sometimes starting as a bench player, and Barkley stepping up in his place, and Kina Onana. We've actually seen Kina Bailey and super sub, of course, this guy from Colombia. Uh, John, yep. So I think if he goes back to Aston Villa, he will be a bench player. And like Along actually said, for Aston Villa, they're lacking a squad depth. They are favorites. They're not favorites to win the Champions League. I mean, being up there is just being up there. I mean, it's just a number. But if you see, they don't have they have a bench here. But can you count that bench to like a full 11 after Martinez? Who is their next their goalkeeper number two? It's Robin Olsen. Robin Olsen, the Swedish goalkeeper, and he was in Sheffield United. So you can't really compare uh, their squad and the other participants. The other participants in the league. So yeah, it's a hard task for
That was Aston Villa. Aston Villa Unai Emery side. You know, of course, they are doing a good job there in the Champions League. I wish they will have a good time there during the knockouts and also they qualify up to the finals. That was more about the Champions League and also the Ballon d'Or. I can see the comment section there were a lot of people here engaging the conversation. Gibbs Corner continues sending them and he's saying that Liverpool they are going to win, but of course Liverpool they are not there. There is always a feeling that comes when we have Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea playing the Champions League. Kilong, do you believe that there is always that feeling that comes when these teams are there? Now we don't have those teams. They are playing in the bushy leagues.
Yeah, of course. We know that Chelsea and somehow Manchester United in the Champions League they bring a lot of excitement. But we know Manchester United is not a serious team because last time they were in the Champions League, which was last season, they were eliminated. They were number four in their in their group and were eliminated even without going to play in Europa. So I think we can leave Man United out of this conversation and say that we are missing Chelsea in the in the Champions League, and we are coming back. That's what I'm telling the European teams that Chelsea is coming back, and it's not going to be business as usual.
Akilong, of course, is our favorite fan for Chelsea. You know, he has still the jersey for Chelsea. He's saying that Man United, they are overrated. They should not even feature in the Champions League. He's saying that we only miss Chelsea and Liverpool. Wes, do you defend your team?
You know, the funny thing is, I actually had my mic on mute, so I didn't hear what Kalang was saying. But yeah, he's actually right. As a real football fan, there are some facts you just have to. Yeah, so some of the time it's banter, but truth be told, we we lost form last season. There's no way in a group stage with Copenhagen, Galatasaray, and how was it? This other team. There's no way you are finishing fourth. Even if you're not, even if you're serious, even if you're not serious, you should at least try to make it to the Europa League. So I think we lost form really, and there's no and if everybody knows if was not for the FA Cup, Ten Hag would have gone by the we would have lost him in the first place as the season was ending. So I think we lost form last season, and we were really hoping to pick up the pace this season, considering we made huge signings, considering we strengthened our squad. We were really hoping for the best, but I think like the guy actually said, it's a bit of a curse or something. There's no way you have the players, you have a good coach, you're not winning anything. Me on my side, uh, it's culture again. It's culture. Some other time there's always a player who comes out of nowhere and improves a team. Because you saw what happened with Bruno when he came to Manchester. We were sort of playing well. I had why not for COVID actually. We had a chance of winning the league that time. I think we were performing really, really well. We beat Man City. We had a good run of form there. So I think we need a good coach and just one good player who will manage the team well. Not manage really, but be a leader. Yep.
I think Boni has been disconnected, but we can continue. Wes, I see you're lamenting that your team is lacking leaders, and actually, what I saw, this is now banter aside. Wh- what I see in your players is that they're not giving all in the pitch. They're not. They're just there. They just want to play, get paid, and go have their fun. They're not playing for the club. They don't know what it means to play for a big team like Manchester United because Manchester United is actually one of the biggest teams in the world. So I saw uh, one of the Manchester United legends, Roy Keane, on Instagram. He was saying that in good teams, coaches hold players accountable, and in great teams, players hold players accountable. And for me, that is a problem with Manchester United players. They never they're not accountable. They're not taking the blame. They're pushing it aside and saying it's the coach. But when we see them play week in, we see that they're not giving their best. They are just playing for the match to end. So they're not accountable. And I think for me, if that doesn't change, a new coach won't help Manchester United. So it was sad for Ten Hag, but it was ultimately the players who should be held accountable for the poor performance because they are not giving uh, their best.
Yeah, of course, I saw Man United playing yesterday against West Ham, and really, I just gave a flashback on when Manchester United used to have players like Paul Scholes, Antonio Valencia. I was shocked because who is Ganacho? Ganacho, of course, he can just come all the way from the midfield and then he'll face the goalkeeper and then will shoot from nowhere. Same way, like the midfield, like what I can say is that even the momentum of watching Manchester United playing, you can just tell these players are just there. They're not playing for the bank. They're just there trying to push time. Or maybe they wanted to give away for Ten Hag to go. This is the coach who has been having problems with the players. You know what happened to Sancho? You know what happened to Cristiano? I think the relationship between Ten Hag and the players is always broken. There's only one coach whom I used to enjoy because whenever you used to see Jurgen Klopp and his player, then you will know that this is a coach who is having a very good relationship with the player. But since he left, then we have Ancelotti era. Now we have Ancelotti era. Ancelotti is there. Yesterday we saw Liverpool coming back and then securing a point at Emirates Stadium. Wes, do you think that Liverpool they are going to give us problems when it comes to the Premier League this season? Ancelotti era.
You're on mute, mess.
Sorry, but I didn't hear that question.
I'm asking you. Yesterday we saw Liverpool playing against the Arsenal, Emirates Stadium. They came back and secured 1 point. Do you think that Arsenal they are going? No, Liverpool they are going to give us that Jurgen Klopp feeling? There is always a feeling when we used to have Jurgen Klopp playing against big teams and also in this Premier League since he came in 2015.
I actually can't believe I'm praising Liverpool, but they considering they didn't make good signings. I mean, they didn't make major signings this season. Aside this game from Juve, and they've actually played really well. I mean, considering Salah is a good player, some other time lack of consistency, but he played really really well. Liverpool is a team to watch this season. They're always like a dark horse because I think there's a season where they stepped up really well and they were able to compete with Man City up to the very last finishing line. So I think Liverpool is a good team to watch this season. And considering Anslot, nobody really knew Slot. Nobody really knew his form when he was when he was coaching Feyenoord. So when he came to Liverpool, we thought this one best he can do is a top six, but he's proven us wrong. He's played really well. We've seen he actually unleashed a beast in Gravenberch. We've seen Gravenberch playing that midfield, running with the balls. I mean, going box to box. Like he's a really good player. So Liverpool, for me this season, they are they're playing really good. And if not Arsenal, I mean if not Man City, I'll go for Liverpool for them. Yep.
Hey, that is the way saying that if not Arsenal, then it's going for Liverpool. Ancelotti era took over and things are really boiling. Kilong, what do you have to say about Chelsea? Enzo Maresca ball. I hear Chelsea fans saying they have Enzo Maresca ball.
Yeah, so for me as a Chelsea fan, I'm really excited to see what we are doing on the pitch. We have a lot of talent in our squad, young players, and we really needed someone to just to direct them on how they can play football. And we have seen for the past 9 matches in the EPL that Chelsea is really transforming to have it to a club that never had an identity for the past 3 years to now having an identity. We see Maresca, his mold, a playing style, and he's insisting that the players has to stick with that uh, playing identity or they don't play. And also, he doesn't have any favorites. Is that how you play? It happens. It will start the next match, and it makes the young boys to be competitive. So for me, we are seeing a wonderful transformation, and I know this season we are not going to compete for the title, but next season with the type of play that we are doing, we will be really in the conversation of competing for the Premier League.
Klong is saying that this season they are not going to compete for the title, but maybe next season they are going to clinch the Premier League title for a long time. You know, Chelsea, they have been changing coaches every now and then. Wes, do you believe that Ruud Van Nistelrooy is going to be the best man for your team?
What do you call? There's always like a souvenir when you have an Italy manager. You saw the run of Carrick last season. I mean the season before, the season before, the season before. What we call this guy? We saw Carrick what he did. We played Arsenal and I think we won. We played Chelsea and we drew. We played Atalanta and we won. So I think there's always like a gist that comes with having an Italy manager because the players are trying to step up. The players are trying to show that it was indeed a manager's fault for them not to play well. So I'm expecting the best from Rude, especially the biggest challenge for will be Chelsea this weekend. And the good thing actually is we are playing home, and I think there's always like a home advantage. Even for when you are out of form, there's always like a feel when you play at home. So yeah, for Road, I wish him the best, and I hopefully we can win some games with him because we really need to catch up. We're losing points anyhow, and we really need to catch up. We can't lose points anymore.
Wes is saying that Man United need to catch up because I saw Man United. I saw Man United playing in the Europa against FC20. I saw even Man United playing against. Uh, I saw Man United playing against FC20 against Jose Mourinho's side, that is Fenerbahce. And really, I'm still shocked because this is not the Manchester United I used to know during the time of Van Persie, during the times of Ryan Giggs. They are playing a very slow game. No tactics. Even the coach is just there chewing ball gun. During the game for Fenerbahce, I was watching that game, by the way. And Mourinho was even shown a card because of celebration. The defense line for Man United, they need to check on that because I don't believe even Delight is the perfect man, and also Mazrui. They are struggling, and I think the momentum that we used to have when we're watching Man United is not there. Yesterday, West Ham United, they played a very poor game, but at the end of the day, they won. Kilong, do you believe that that penalty that was awarded to West Ham, was it a penalty or not?
For me, it was a harsh decision, to be honest, against Manchester United. But since I disliked them, I celebrated it. But to be honest, it was really harsh. It was unfair. I never saw it as a penalty, and this shows how the Premier League, they're lagging behind in terms of refereeing. The PGMOL, which is the body that stands for the referees being led by Howard Webb, should really step up their game. When we watch matches in the UEFA Champions League or in Europe or in the Conference League, the referees rarely get blamed because of their mistakes, because they do their job well. But when it comes to the Premier League, it's always a controversy. So it's sad because that penalty is the one that sacked Ten Hag because maybe he could stay a few more weeks. But after they lost to West Ham, then the Manchester board could not have him longer, and it was a really controversial decision. So for me, it was a hard blow to Manchester United, and because they lost the game because of that controversial penalty, which really shouldn't be a penalty. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. That's what I think.
Kileng is saying that that penalty is the one that sent Ten Hag home, and Ten Hag is now jobless. I have seen even the social media whereby there is some suggestion the former England coach, that is Gareth Southgate, might replace Ten Hag. Who do you think is qualified for the position of Man United? West.
Exactly. The current list of potential the potential managers, and I think he's actually a good option. For me, if you list like the 10 of them, the 10 potential managers, you know what he does in Milan. They are always up there. The consistency, the season before last season, he had a Champions League finals. Last season, he won the Coppa Italia and the Italian League. So I think he's a good coach. For me, I'll go for Inzaghi. Yep.
For who again?
What do you think?
Inzaghi, the Inter Milan coach.
Oh, the real coach. Oh, I don't think you are able to pull him off. So for me,
Simone Inzaghi.
yeah.
Too big for our league.
What do you think is the best coach for Man United, and why?
Okay, what I see, according to the rumors that we're having now, is that Ruben Amorim, the coach for Sporting Lisbon, will be is in contention to become to replace Ten Hag. Ruben Amorim is a young coach, and he has new ideas and new way of play. So for me, I think that might help Manchester United for the short term, but in the long term, it's the players who are the problem in Manchester United, because if they don't play for the badge, then there's no way Manchester United will go anywhere, because it will be just the same thing over and over again. They have to see that they get a new set of players who want to play for the badge, because the players that are there now are really are just there to eat the cake and not to play.
Of course, we have seen the kind of criticism we are experiencing in the Premier League. The likes of Mikhail Modric, the likes of Anthony. Anthony, since he came from Ajax. You saw, is there some catch that is happening in this Premier League club? You go to a club, then you're going to fail. Then you go back, then you're going to win. I saw what happened to Lukaku when he came back to Chelsea? He struggled to win games, to score goals, but when he went back to other clubs, then he was scoring goals. You're seeing what is happening to Mikhail Modric, what is happening to Anthony, what is happening to different players. Is there a curse or we have a very tough Premier League? Is Premier League EPL the best league we have in the world? Belong.
Of course, it goes without saying, Premier League is the best league, and because it's competitive, and here all teams can batter you. So Manchester City can play Southampton, as we saw last week, and struggle. So that's what separates uh, the EPL from the rest of the league, is that they have a lot of teams, or not a lot, all of the teams in there can compete. So for you to win, have, you really have to bring your best day in and day out. So for me, I consider Premier League the best league. Of course, when it comes to the European competitions, the EPL clubs struggle a bit, because now uh, the Champions League is a knockout, and it needs fine margins for you to win. So that's the problem. Because when you have teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, uh, when they come to the European stages where they want to show off, because that's where people will have most attention to them. But for me, the PL is the number one league, just because of how competitive it is, right from the bottom of the table to the first team. You really can't predict how a game will go.
You cannot predict that is the EPL what is going to happen. I've seen there is a tweet somewhere, and it is the first time that we have in the Ballon deal without Messi and Ronaldo. And Wes, do you miss that feeling whereby Messi and Ronaldo were sharing the same podium?
You're on mute, Wes.
Sorry, I'm always forgetting. Yeah. I miss that feeling because we were always winning by the as Messi fans. I don't think there was ever a point when I don't think ever since I became like a staunch Messi fan. I don't think it's only once I think where we've lost to Ronaldo, but almost all other times it's been all Messi. I mean, it justifies why he has 8 Ballon d'Ors. So I think I miss that feeling with me, and it was actually like it was a one-sided contest. There was never really a competition. Uh, there's someone actually said someone actually said Ronaldo was famous because of Messi. I mean, he was trying to compete with him, but man, he was levels above him. So yeah, that feeling is actually uh, nostalgic at the moment because for now we can't really you can't really make a comparison between them because there's none. I mean, they are you cannot replace them. You cannot.
He's saying that we're missing that feeling where Messi and Ronaldo were sharing that podium. But now we have the likes of Rodri, Foden. Those are the players that are being featured in the Ballon d'Or, and they are just young players who just came the other day. But used to have the likes of the GOAT, Lionel Messi. But of course, I'm so happy that I watched those guys, two guys play. I'm not a rival of any because I know there is quite a difference between Messi and Ronaldo. But when I watched Messi playing the World Cup 2014, then I know that this guy is very lethal. When I watched Ronaldo playing in the Euros 2018, then I know this guy is very lethal. So it's a happy moment that we watch these two guys play. They have been having a very good time, but time waits for no man. Now we are heading for Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Junior, Phil Foden, Palmer. Long, do you believe that Palmer is going to win Ballon d'Or next season?
Of course, for me, I'm surprised he's ranked 25th in the Ballon d'Or because the type of season he had last season, uh, and the fact that he scored on the final in the Euro, he should be way above some players. But Cole Palmer is is a player that could potentially win the Ballon d'Or. I don't say next season, but he might be the next Englishman after Owen to win the Ballon d'Or. He's way better than Foden, way better than Jude Bellingham. That's how good I see he is because his level of understanding the game at his young age is insane.
That is called Palmer. They are in the Chelsea Football Club. And of course, as we wrap up on European football, Wes, what do you have to say about your Man United? What is the best solution that you can do there at the Old Trafford so that you can be back as the Red Devils we used to know? Now you cannot just say, Manchester United fan cannot just say that I'm a supporter of the Red Devils. Mashetani mekundu bado yako ama yamekuwa meusi?
Yes, I agree. But uh, what this guy said, Ralph Ragnick said, we need open heart surgery, like from scratch, kabisa. Like we start from scratch, like literally everything. You scrap off everything. You come up with a new squad. You with a better management, and it's actually work in progress. I mean, you're not supposed to like make super signings. We've seen Brighton do proper scouting and sign players out of some non-leagues, and they end up performing. Like, it's not about signing names really. You just have to like keep up the momentum. You have the best players in your squad, and you'll keep up the momentum. For Manchester, I think because you can't really ship off everyone, but with time, if we get a good coach, we coach the current players, we ship off those who are underperforming. Because I think at the end of the day, I think axing players is actually the best solution for them to improve. We saw what happened with uh with Enzo. I mean, not with Maresca and Sterling. If you don't perform, you ship him off. I mean, what is he doing anyway? And he's earning salary at the end of at the end of the month. Uh, for example, Anthony and the likes of Rashford. I think Rashford usually has that feeling that because he was an academy player and he deserves however much he plays shitty game week. Game week. Game in game out. I think he deserves to go. For me, by the way, it reaches a point where I say, Rashford, we thank you for your service, thank you for what you've done, but time to go. Yeah, that is actually what we can do as Manchester. We just keep off the ship and remain with a fresh flesh. Yep.
He's saying that we just keep do away with those players who cannot just help the team, and of course they remain with the players who are ready to help the team. That is Manchester United. More about European football than we are going to discuss, but of course we are asking here who is going to win the Ballon d'Or. Rodri has arrived and he has said that he knows nothing about tonight. So waiting to see if he clinches that Ballon d'Or, then I will feel so bad because I think Vinny Junior is the one who is qualified to win this Ballon d'Or. That is from my hand. But other than saying it's Rodri, but this Ballon d'Or has been so cracked. Long, I am very sure that Messi was not worthy to win Ballon d'Or last season, but he was given. What had he achieved?
Messi should be given Ballon d'Or when he just kicks the ball. Even I'm surprised he's not winning.
He should even be winning
This,
tonight, by the way.
yeah, exactly. Because when you watch Messi playing, there's no way you can see any other footballer who can play better than Messi, even at his age at 37. There's no other footballer. So for me, Messi winning last year was right because he was coming from PSG. He was coming from winning the World Cup, so that was an easy decision. So for me, I think people have a problem, especially the Real Madrid fans have a problem with Ballon d'Or because Messi surpassed Cristiano by three uh, trophies. So that proving him that he's the best of all time. So that's the problem with Real Madrid fans having an issue with Ballon d'Or. But at the same time, they'll cry if one of their players, such as Vinicius Junior, doesn't win it altogether. And also, I've seen that the Real Madrid players and the Real Madrid staff never attended the Ballon d'Or ceremony. They cancelled the trip because Vinicius Junior was not going to win. So they are sore losers and they're not classy. They should respect other people and appear and celebrate the Ballon d'Or because we know it's a prestigious award in the football world. So for them to cancel their trip because they had planned to attend tonight's ceremony, but when they had a and I don't know where they got this because Ballon d'Or have said that they have not revealed a winner to anyone. So when they got an hint that Vinicius Junior might not be winning, then they cancelled the plan to travel. So for me, they are sore losers, and they should be classy and appear in this competition or in these ceremonies. The world will not stop because one of their players has not won the Ballon d'Or. Yeah.
Kilong is saying that the world will not stop if they not win the Ballon d'Or. And of course, we have the best managers and best coaches in this Ballon d'Or. Wes, who do you think is worthy to win the best coach of this season?
For me, I think Ancelotti deserves. I don't know why. Some of the time you just have to put banter aside and recognize class. For Real, last season they played really well in the league, La Liga, and I think it's only because it's only fair to say they deserve to win the league, and I can't really argue much with the Champions League because they have that Champions League aura. So Ancelotti, they played really well that season, and he deserves to win the coach.
He's saying Carlos Ancelotti is the one to win. Kilong, who do you think is worthy to win this best manager?
For me, it is the Spain coach. For me, he was his name is Felipe or something.
De
For
La
me,
Fuente.
yeah, that guy. Because
What has he
when you
done? What has he done? What has Luis De La Fuente done?
the Euro competition, he played a young Spain team, and they competed and won they won uh, being dominant, not being lucky. So for me, he deserved to be the coach of the year. Carlos Ancelotti, uh, he's used to this, so let's give to someone else.
That is Kilong is saying Carlos Ancelotti. And of course, I can see Riyad Ahmed from Bangladesh is watching this show. Welcome to Afrique 24 and show your comments. Who do you think is the best coach for this season? From my point of view, I could say by Leverkusen head coach Xavi is the one to win this trophy for the best coaches because he did a fantastic job in the Leverkusen, pulling one of the greatest performers and making history. After 11 good years, he dropped Bayern Munich for this Bundesliga. So I think that was very good performance from Xavi, and I think they should have given it to him. But at the end of the day, we are waiting to see. We know things are going to happen, but by the next 2 hours or 3 hours, we are going to know who is the best coach, Ballon d'Or winner. Those are the prestigious awards that are given to individual players, coaches, and after what you have been doing the whole season. So all more about Ballon d'Or we shall be giving you tomorrow, and of course we shall have a show tomorrow so that we can discuss about the nominees of the Ballon d'Or and the winners. I want to say as we come to the end of the show, I will appreciate whoever's been joining. I've been seeing a lot of people here joining the conversation all the way in Nairobi, Kenya, whoever is joining in America, Middle East countries, Bangladesh, UK. We say thank you so much for this wonderful show. And I want to request Kilong to give us his closing remarks as we come to the end of the show today.
Uh, as we end, I want to thank all the listeners who have tuned in and to our show. And it's always a pleasure to talk about football. And we're going to talk about the game because it's a beautiful game and we enjoy it. We'll be having the Carabao Cup played this weekday. Chelsea versus Newcastle again. Other big teams will be playing, and it's going to be interesting as well. So thank you for for all who have tuned in. This is the greatest football show on the planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kilong, as well, for creating time and joining Africa 24 Sports Show. We have been having a very good time for the last 1 hour and 30 minutes here in this conversation. So what we can see is that always continue subscribing to this channel. Always make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. The live you can share, and also you can get the tips there. And one of the best analysts from this planet. So we say thank you so much for having us today here. Follow us in the comment section there. The likes of Gibbs Icona, all the way from Bangladesh, who have joined us today. Want to say thank you so much to the Africa 24. Zalendo, I know you have been following behind the scenes. I want to say thank you. And we meet here simply same time as we discuss more about Champions League, European football, and also our local football. We know we are having the election for the FKA presidency in the next few weeks. On 7th of December, we shall be having the elections. So we had the presidential debate that was happening at the Catholic University of East Africa. Those presidential aspirants for the FKA presidency, they gave their manifesto, and we honor them. Some missed, the likes of Sam Nyamoya, who dropped from the race yesterday, and Hussein Mohammed still went missing. He did not come to the debate. But of course, football in Kenya is one of the things that are really, really wanting. They need to be checked by the ministry and also the government. So we're waiting to see all those. And of course, as we end, we have the junior starlets who came all the way from Dominican Republic after marking historical moments there in the Dominican Republic and representing our country, Kenya. And of course, they made our national flag to fly high in the Dominican Republic, and it's the first time for us to have our team being presented in the World Cup, thanks to Mildred Cheche and our squad for Junior Starlets under 17 who represented us. I saw them in the airport at 3 a.m. and they talked something that was good. We are hoping that our football is going to be back. Thank you so much. Kilongo, thank you so much, and follow us for joining us same place, same time, and cheers.
Thank you.